Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I am back once again with another special review. And even though I think all my reviews are special, this one in particular is really special because once again, thanks to the magic of Big Bad Toy Store, we get to take a look at some figures early, namely the Wave 2 Legacy Evolution Deluxes. And we're starting off taking a look at, from the Transformers animated universe, this is Prowl. Prowl is an update. Um, Now, unlike, say, RC and Bulkhead, who leaned more heavily to a G1 aesthetic, the designers were able to hear the criticisms early enough that Prowl's designs were changed ever so slightly to still keep more of the animated aesthetic here. And for better or worse, that's what we have. And I'll be very honest, I think it's a little bit for worse, as the transformation ends up being a little bit on the fiddly side. And that's why actually we're starting in robot mode, because the conversion from robot to vehicle is actually a little more complicated than I think it should be, and I wanted to present that to you to help you guys out. But right there, there's Prowl's head. Now this is based on the first version of Prowl, which actually, to be fully honest, I was never a fan of Prowl's animated design. Too skinny, the proportions were just off. But I did like the samurai look, but we don't have that here, and I don't think that'll be coming. Um, so he does have its ninja stars, which kind of tricky to get in the hand, but there are some grooves in the slots. It's much easier for this hand to hold the ninja star. Other than that, as you can see, the articulation is pretty good. There is a little bit of an issue here in the legs, and that has to do with the fact that for the transformation, the feet rotate on this wheel, so you can actually, it's like having a double um, ankle joint there in terms of getting things straight and in position. But other than that, you have universal joints in the shoulders, uh, bicep swivel, 90-degree bend, no wrist articulation. You do have waist articulation, universal joints at the hips, deep, deep knee bend. And there is that movement right there, and you do have forward and back and side to side ankle pivot. And as you just saw, I accidentally knocked the ninja star out, but let's see if I can show you right there that slit, that groove that you want to try and hook the star in. And it'll kind of sit a little off center, but that is how the ninja stars do it. So I think what we'll do is, since we're starting off in the robot mode, we'll just go into the transformation. And the first thing you want to do is actually remove the stars from the hand. And they are on these little toothed gears that you want to rotate them up. And if they don't fold all the way, you got to give them a little push there. And like on the original toy, they store on the side of the leg. And as you saw right there, this hand is formed a little different, and that can just slide right in. I bet that groove is there in the right hand just to show, so you can have it hold a regular weapon, but also but also to hold the shurikens as well. So we're gonna close this up, and again, if there's a little issue, give it a little push. Hopefully, I'm not damaging anything, and then that'll store on the leg. Now, the first step of the transformation is to lift the head back on the panel and push it all the way back. Now, I should mention, before we get too much further on mine, I did notice that the head, and I think it's due to the design, there are some little friction spots where it kind of wants to pop back into place. Your mileage may vary, but as I said, I think that has to do more with the design of the head than any quality issue or what have you. So get that panel all the way up. Bring the arms out to the side. Flip the hands inward. And then what you're going to do is rotate the figure at the waist, so that what will be the windscreen of the motorcycle mode is facing towards your right. or it'll just, look like this. So then what you want to do is rotate, at this point, I would say rotate the, oh no, actually not yet. We're going to rotate this whole section around, swing it through, that it'll come up and over Prowl's head, just like that. At this point, I would rotate the handlebars up and get these panels out of position as much as you can. Next, what you want to do is we're going to turn the figure around. Oh, before that, we're going to, now with the figure facing forward like this, push it to the side on that hinge there, and then rotate, come around so that the windscreen and the side panels are now to your left. And this is where things get a little tricky due to the instructions. What you want to do is, with this leg, rotate it on the swivel there, so now you can see the opening with the mushroom cap. With this leg, you want to rotate it so that you don't see that opening and that the feet are facing the same direction. The instructions kind of, the way they show it, it's like you end up almost having the feet look like that. That's not how you want it to work. So once you do that, go ahead and bring the arms down, and you're going to peg them together just like that. Tilt the hip section a little on that joint there, a little more to the forward, and then what you're going to do is bring the leg up, bend it at the knee, and bringing the arms together create this little slot that you can't see that the kneecap is going to peg into. And then straighten the foot out, and then rotate that whole panel back, and that will literally just sit on the crotch. Nothing really pegs in. Now at this point, I would strongly recommend bringing down the kickstand, because it's easier to get a grip on it here. And let me just say that the leg will come loose during the transformation as we go. Now, for the next step, this is what I recommend, and I find it actually easier to do. Bring the panels back, and before you peg them in, go ahead now and bring up this panel, rotating the front wheel up, and as you can see underneath the head panel where Prowl's head sits, there's a like a little bar that there's a groove here in the foot, and that's going to sit up and in. And like I said, it's a little bit easier, not even to bring it back yet, but just bring it up and in. Try to get it as positioned as you can. Let me bring it back, and it'll just, it's really supposed to slide in, and it really doesn't, but in fact, yeah, leave these out, and this will slide. This is supposed to help slide it in. Or is it, or did I find that if you, yeah, I think, as you can see, this is like the fiddly part of the transformation. You just want to get it in there, and there we go. Yep, and this is the hardest part of the transformation, trying to get it up. And there we go. Got it in. Just like that. So now what you can do is, oh boy, make sure, if you brought them down, make sure those handlebars are rotated up. And what you'll do now is this panel will sit in a groove right underneath what was the armpit joint, and then then there's a tab that will secure the... And if you, yeah, keep trying to push that panel in more, and it's going to just split the arms apart. But once you get everything locked up, it's kind of solid. So do that on that side, then rotate it up again on this side, and there you go. And believe it or not, and if this part will just come down naturally. Oh, I kind of had the armpit there turned a little, but and there you go. And there's Prowl in its vehicle mode. It's a nice recreation of the animated motorcycle mode. I mean, now as you can see, even the kickstand really isn't working out as well. I don't. There we go. Oh, there you go. It doesn't really want to sit well, but you can, of course, move it out of the way a little, and the motorcycle will roll. There you go. And the Ninja Stars, make sure you have them fold up. They will roll freely, but like I said, it's kind of nice. I don't have a big connection to the animated design of Prowl, but I mean, I can appreciate, and I hope this is what you guys would want who do. So we'll pause and we'll come back with my final thoughts. So, like I said, the transformation is a little bit fiddly. I should also mention that one thing I do appreciate, there are tabs here on the back of the shoulder that these side panels actually can sit into, so you can get it in a, proper position. But, yeah, I mean, Prowl's a cool enough figure. The transformation does get a little fiddly at the end there, especially trying to get the legs in position. And I kind of wonder if it was more G1ified, would that have negated that? But then again, that would have turned off a lot more people, so I don't know. Just that if this is the Prowl you've been waiting for, the update to Prowl you've been waiting for, I hope you're happy. One thing I should also mention is just how small the figure is, especially in relation to how it sits in the box. And can I just also add, if I haven't said it already, like with Legacy, I can't stand the Evolution boxes. They are just so oddly shaped, it makes it hard to store them and to really, fit multiple boxes in a normal space, which ends up meaning these figures are taking up more space, which, with a collection, it is at a premium. So there is that, just as an aside. But Prowl, good figure. I would say is a good update. And if this is what you're looking for, I hope you're happy. But if it isn't, I can understand that. And maybe if you weren't a fan of that animated aesthetic, this might be something you want to pass on. So I hope I've helped clarify things, and more importantly, I've hoped I helped you with the transformation, since the instructions weren't as wonderful as they could be. So that's about it for the review. If you like this review, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. While I will always appreciate the views, the likes, comments, and subscriptions, help to communicate to YouTube through their algorithms that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. If you want to make the ultimate sign of support, I do have a Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/ChuckDog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month, $12 a year. No thrills, no tiers, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you bring figures like Prowl to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. But as I always say, I know times are tough. We're in a bit of a recession. There is inflation. If you can't do the $1 a month or $12 a year, your views are more than thanks enough. Patreon is just a cherry on top of an already generous sundae. That's about it. This is your old pal Chuck for Animated Prowl. We will see you next time.